All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, episode 44. Congratulations, Hibito.
We can breathe.
Yeah, and you can breathe. And you're alive. Mm-hmm. You're also a big damn hero because you saved Damien at great risk to yourself.
Yep.
From dire circumstances.
Dire.
Okay. All right. As if you weren't already making news enough. Like, if there wasn't enough products in grocery stores with your face plastered on them, there certainly will be now.
Yeah. Hopefully, this is where we can relax again. This was a very stressful arc. It was a very intense side of Space Brothers. I am very excited, though, for our brothers to see each other again, even if it's just on a video screen or what have you.
Literally anything at this point.
Anything would matter. But
while both hearts are beating, yeah.
Exactly. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Now, Brian J.
This is almost real bad.
Filled with oxygen.
All right. Take a few minutes to just relax. All right, I can still move okay.
Extremities were probably falling asleep.
Yeah.
Oh. Such a cool little detail as he's feeling the blood flow like to those points. Yeah. Thank you for doing that show.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we did that before we did the opening because I guess that little bit of just being
all right, everything's okay.
Everything's completely fine.
No recap necessary, nothing. It's just, hey, being able to breathe is cool.
Oh, 3 astronauts. Fun.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. Now go tell Muta. Nice.
That's where he would have been standing. That's where he would have been. Okay. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good respect, acknowledgement, yeah.
起こりうる最悪のケースも想定すべきと。今本当に最悪なのは、2人が落下した場所で
Wow.
Yep.
自ら脱出すべく移動しているとすれば、それは助けを待っている時間。
Exactly. Yes.
JAXAの案は最悪のケースを想定して考えられた最善の策です。
Whoa. Such a simple, best, good way to communicate that logically.
10キロもずれた地点に向かわせるというのはあまりにもリスクが。
ブライアンを生かせましょう。
Awesome. Okay.
There it is. That's the explanation.
Yeah, and it gets them an early visual too.
イビトの兄の判断です。
Damn.
That's gotta be sobering.
もうすぐ我々の仲間になる男です。
You did good.
And he's just been in this room confident that Hibito's gonna be okay.
It's like, okay, you see smiles. Of course he is.
Nice. 2 of them flanking behind him there.
Yep.
Okay.
The marks on the sides of his face, just like Hibito. Now they're on the way.
Yep.
バディだ。前方にブライアンとヒビトを確認した。救出する。見つけたぞ、ヒビト。
Yeah.
見つけたぞ。この野郎。
Freaking giddy.
よかった。
Well, they were barreling down here. Look how fast they're going. Okay.
Hey guys. Yeah, raise that fist. Yeah, not just for them, but for NASA. Let's get you on this thing. Now, let's go pick our boy up.
Damn.
All right.
Imagine your weight divided by 6. Like, you're basically the size of a dog, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And you can just be picked up and just, like...
Yep, even if it was doubled because of the spacesuit.
Yeah.
Just,
well, doubled from that 6th. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christmas?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Jingle Bell Rock, let's go. Jingle Bell back on my home rock, you know? Oh.
Wait, 1980.
Going back in time a lot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Damien. No, because this is long before.
Yeah.
So this is Brian, Jay.
And his brother, yeah.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
That's
yeah.
a lot. Damn. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yep.
So cool, so cool. He's like, wait,
Wait,
really?
you're serious?
Yeah, it is actually capable of surviving space, like.
俺のところにニールって書いてあったんだ。
Right.
それがハゲて消えたからブライアンって書いたんだとよ。
Nice.
Yeah, it's our 40-year-old toy, yeah.
俺の想像通りだった。ああ？ブライアンの置き土産かなんかだろうなと。
Yeah, sure you did.
ブライアン人形で多分 UFO 見るより興奮してたな俺。
Oh, yeah. Seeing something that your best friend, like... What a shot.
を壊した時のうまい言い訳。マスコミ受けするコメント。ロシア語で女を口説く決め台詞。ああ、俺にもあるぜ。あ、自分を大きく見せるコツ。
Ah! Yeah, a little chest puff out.
Yeah.
ピートはまだビートルで眠ってるよ。
Yeah, no reason to take him out right now, yeah.
ダミアンは今、カレンの治療を受けてるところだ。
Look at his
Oh, yeah,
arm.
he does not look good.
待ってる。今からバディが幹部を撮影してそっちへ流すよ。了解した。フレディ、ヘビトが起きたら一つ伝えておいてほしいことがある。
Yeah?
今回の救出行動に関する重大な情報。
Yeah! Yeah!
大丈夫よダミアン。切断の心配はないわ。
Yeah, you're
そうか。
gonna be able to keep the arm. Yeah.
だそう。パンパンじゃねえか。こんなの初めて見たぜ。
Bro's like, oh, my... I can't look at it, you know?
Karen's like, you're gonna be okay. Meanwhile, Buddy's like, oh.
3 months, though.
痛いでしょうダミアン。これから加温していくけど、さらに。
Yeah, warming it up and all that is gonna be a pain. This is where the opening came from. Hibito's dreaming about, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely nonsensical stuff right
He'd
now.
been oxygen deprived, and now he's finally sleeping peacefully and just.
日本も民間からの有人打ち上げが近いよ。福田さんに期待しよう。
Sure. Reminding us of that whole subplot with the rockets and things, yeah.
まあそうなの。
This guy.
君が来たみたいです。
そう。じゃあね、
I
お
can't-
兄ちゃんと交代するね。
Yes!
さてと、それじゃあ、私たちは。
Let's go.
Yep, yep.
Dip. Some people just are loving life, you know?
I guess, yeah. I will never understand that dude.
めちゃくちゃ見えてるよ。
っていうか、
I'm about, like, 4 feet or so, yeah.
なんか危険な目にあったりしてねえか？
Do you not know what happened?
酸素までなくなってたなんてな。聞いたのが後からでよかったぜ。
そうだな。
Yeah!
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
至って平和だ。
そうなのか。いや、それはよかった。
I love this.
嘘つけ。
Then why'd you start the bit?
ことといやあれかな。ちょっと深めの谷に
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
最高だったよ。そっから見た星は。
Yeah.
あれはむっちゃんも。
Just actually zero light pollution.
俺は3人の宇宙飛行士に助けられたらしいよ。
3人
Ozma, Brian J, and you.
Yep.
Yep.
それから俺らは生きて一緒に月面に。
Oh, this scene.
当たり前だ。
Yeah, of course. Then he tabs over and starts playing Minesweeper while continuing the conversation.
Right? Oh, man.
We needed that after that whole arc. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for the emotional resolution and catharsis, Space Brothers. It was a painful ride getting here, and now that we're here, I'm just so damn happy.
Yeah. Can you imagine if, like, we've been good at those, like, be in sync with what the other person is thinking kind of games and stuff. But could you imagine if it was ever a situation where one of our lives depended on being able to
effectively guess what you would do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, like, there's something to be said for the fact that, like, brothers really know each other, like,
uncomfortably well.
You wouldn't really understand unless you have a brother.
Yeah.
Like, I'm obviously not speaking with regards to a mutual exclusivity with, like, sisters or something. But
Right.
Like, siblings in general know each other to an uncomfortable degree. But I feel like with my experience, and I'm sure you can speak to this as well, but with brothers, there's something extra that is there because there's this, like, stupid simplicity that you can get at.
Sure.
That is at the core of what makes a brother a brother.
Yeah.
And it thus makes the complications of people and relationships can, like, simply get boiled down to, like, simple statement.
Yeah.
And then there you go. That's them. That's their whole person. And it is extremely reductive and is completely missing all the nuance of that person.
But you can also say it in such a way where they understand that you're accounting for the nuance.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Right? Like, where it's just like...
The layers are all baked into that cake, you know? It's It's there. The cake look like it's that thin.
You know, you can say the one sentence, right? and it's like, I understand. But if you were to just read the words, you know... Yeah, it wouldn't quite be
right,
there.
You have to live it first.
Yeah.
And so I think, if I was to imagine it and it was in some kind of a situation where, like, one of us is lost at sea, I'm trying to imagine, like, what would be the most realistic kind of tragic situation that we can find ourselves in, like an airplane crash or something like that.
Right,
and
right.
I'd be like, okay, based on Jacob and what I know about you, being able to help in any way like that. Obviously, I don't have any expertise in these areas.
Right. The only reason Muta was able to do this is because, he's also an astronaut.
Right.
You know?
But if I was given basically the sit rep kind of, like
you're sitting there and you have nothing you have nothing else to do because other people are handling the situation, but you're just stressing over it and being like, is there any help that I can any insight I can bring here?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's not as easy as, this situation ended up being.
Sure.
Partly because Muta's reasoning by this was one that was convenient because the valley really only did have one exit. And the other part that's maybe a little bit of a luck part with regards to Hibito, and we might have to go back and check to make sure this is the case. I don't know if he knew which direction was the way out of the valley.
I believe he was trusting the bot that the roller thing that went in there.
Oh, the bot had the ability to then go back out
Yeah,
and so he was just following that. Right. So he didn't need to know. Right. Okay.
Right.
So then in that regard,
it's less of a qualitative where would he go and more of a binary would he move or like
would he stay?
Yeah, or would he stay?
Actually,
right?
that's a good question for you. If you have, this is not to talk about your like moral ethics or anything like that, but if you have a situation where you're gonna die, like you have no way to save yourself, basically, not really, but you could maybe save a few more people if you move, but you would also run the risk. And we can choose the percentages, but you don't know the percentages of also killing everybody by moving.
Right.
Would you go for the more safe thing of at least saving one? Or would you do the risky thing of potentially saving more, but also potentially killing everybody by moving?
Right. I feel like
I think a lot of us...
I think I would probably go for the at least save one. I feel like I'm too pragmatic because there'd be that part of me that's like
you're dead no matter what.
That would see the idealism as being a form of immaturity, of wanting, of basically not facing the reality of, oh my God, we're fucked.
Right, because this is different than what they presented to us in Space Brothers. Space Brothers presented us with the, Damien's going to die if you don't do something.
Right, and that was where we had a nice forcing function, right?
Yeah.
Where it's
there was no choice.
Damien is the more likely one to survive long term, but he's going to die in the immediate. You're going to die after the short term, but you're not in immediate danger right now.
Right. It was more the micro decisions of how Hibito basically made sure that they would go through this with efficiency.
Right. Like I think Hibito survived in a lot of ways, not just due to the luck and the efforts of everyone contributing to, get the oxygen generating robot there and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But also due to a decent amount of luck of things not going badly in the times when he kind of sacrificed himself too much, almost, I would say.
Sure.
And it's like...
Yeah, the show had already given us, in a lot of ways, the worst luck possible by making the characters make the mistake that led them into this instance twice.
Yeah.
Which I'm probably going to eventually have
Still
to
salty about.
I'm going to eventually have to let go of that. But, I for now, I haven't.
Right. Thankfully, there's no permanent consequences from it, in the negative Hibito's dead or anything like that.
I did like that they teased us a little bit with that with Damien, where it's like, oh, God, look at his arm.
Yeah, it's like you're not doing good right now.
Right, and it's okay, we got the medical expert to look at it.
You're not going to lose any limbs.
You won't have to lose the arm and have it be chopped off. I like that was brought up because that's how scary this was.
Yep.
But also it's for the next few months, you won't have use of this arm also. So...
You're going to be lying in bed.
Right, but how long is this mission, right?
Right.
Like, do they have the means to...
Yeah, how easy will it be for him to, even if he has a month or two of recovery, to go through re-entry?
Well, re-entry, but how much does this permanently affect the mission? Because someone might have to be taking care of him, which means they're not working on the parts that they would have been working on the mission. And then him not obviously doing his work is affecting their general mission as well. So I like that that's more the permanent consequence, is that... it dramatically affected the work that was put in to get them onto the moon. Because as a reminder, we're doing NASA stuff here, which means effectively millions and millions of dollars were spent basically just to get them to do this.
Right.
And so there's a cost benefit of... we send people up there to do stuff.
Of what kind of a dollar amount of a mistake was this, even with the fact that everyone was saved as far as lives?
Right. Obviously, losing an astronaut would be catastrophically worse than everybody being fine.
Oh, no, yeah. Even ignoring the moral standpoint, financially, it would be far worse than,
Well, just in, yes, right. I'm just talking about also in terms of, the mission, general... everything. Yeah. And so the fact that this went well, good. But do they have to then bring him back to Earth in some ways? Or is it more that even when the mission's over and they come back to Earth, his arm will still be pretty,
right. He's going to have to
up.
skip out of the next mission because he won't be like in that full recovery kind of state, right? Because just being able to say use the arm, that doesn't mean that you're, in tip-top shape.
I also find it like something that could be really interesting to where they end up investigating the acts that led up to the accident.
Oh, absolutely.
And potentially pull Damien off
future
the
missions.
And that could be interesting if Damien or Hibito kind of do the bro thing of like, no, it was all me. No, it was all me. No, it was all me.
Right, but they'll be able to see in the records of what happened.
What exactly happened. Yeah.
Because let's be real, Hibito also very much did mess up.
Hibito did mess up.
When Damien had the first issue with the seeing the road, which very normal response to have, right? That's a physical phenomenon. There you go, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that, that they didn't stop and pull over. They didn't switch drivers or anything like that. Like, yes, Damien shouldn't have taken his eyes off the road, especially after that happening, but he shouldn't have been driving at that point in the first place, and that's on both of them.
Yeah. Oh, man. But, good stuff to go over. But now, this episode focused on Hibito being safe, the dramatic tension of Muta then finding out exactly how things went down, that it was him that saved him. But then the reveal that, the reason why Brian J3 went to that spot was specifically because Azuma brought up in such a clear and concise, logical way, hey, right now, it doesn't make sense to have this plan in such a way go for primarily the best case scenario.
Right.
The worst case scenario really is them moving, which would then mean we should send at least Brian J3 over to that location.
Which makes absolutely. And it
makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense. And it's to the point where this could be potentially eye-opening for the NASA protocol of how to deal with situations like this. And it can also just be that extra highlighting of, even when you have a bunch of really smart people in an area, you still need someone to come up with the wait, hang on a second.
Right.
Because
chotomate.
Yeah, chotomate, because really any of the people there should have thought of that, right?
Well, right. And this is the part where I'm kind of curious about this, is that Muta's superpower has always been that he finds the thing that's off in the system.
Yep.
He looks at the system, he absorbs it all, and quickly sees the thing that doesn't fit.
Right.
So if there's like a loose screw or what have you, he notices it. But it could also just be wait, you're doing this rescue because things could be really bad. What's the worst way it could go?
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways of Muta's pessimism, because in a lot of the ways of Muta's actual kind of sour attitude with regards to specific things.
What if what they're doing right now is actually wrong and it's not going to work?
Right. What would happen if you looked at everything that is going well and be like, but what if it was actually kind of not working?
Right. And that's another reason why the initial flare was so meaningful, because that gives them a location to work off of. And then it's
but we know they have two flares. Why is there not
why
been
didn't they use the second
flare?
one? But okay, if they so then using, starting from here, if they needed to move, this would be the place they'd go. Awesome, cool. And in a lot of ways, for something like that, a situation like a ravine is very straightforward in that it's like, all right, you got a bunch of cliffs. You need to get out of there somehow. Where are the places where that's possible? It's not going to be a lot.
Yeah, I did find it interesting, though, that they never considered the temperature issue specifically with regards to them being in the ravine. And I think what it was that they were just like, no, they had considered it, and that's why they went to the shortest distance possible to get to the last known location. Because if temperature is the issue, then they would need to get picked up as fast as possible. They couldn't afford to move.
Right.
Which would work if their worst case scenario that they could think of was that, they can't move. Therefore, we go to that spot, rappel down with people, pick them up, and pull them back up.
Right.
But I love that that was in their mind the worst case scenario, when the actual worst case scenario is not no, they're unconscious, or what have you, in their suits or what have you. That's the worst case scenario that basically leads to them just dead.
Right. The worst case scenario, of course, is them being dead on impact and there's nothing to rescue.
Right.
But, then there's nothing that you need to do. So
the worst case scenario based on our choices also then needs to be considered.
Exactly.
Which then you wouldn't send multiple things to the same location.
No.
Because you're still going to get plenty of oxygen in the beetle, so you don't need to solve the oxygen problem twice.
Nope.
So the idea of sending Brian J there makes kind of in a lot of ways extra convenient sense because Brian J is a oxygen bot as well. So
yeah. Right.
It's
they know that they should stay in one place because that makes it easier for us to get them. Because really what would be especially bad is if they moved and they didn't manage to make it out. Where it's they went to go to the spot where Brian J would meet them.
Dead,
but that would mean they're basically dead. Yeah.
I do like that this episode focused so much on the emotion of finding, seeing, rescuing Hibito from all the other astronauts as well.
Yes.
And then tying this all back into Brian J as a character who was at one point also just a little boy with a brother who inspired him to want to go to space. And then seeing the influence of that effort leading to the point where then his little moment that he had on like right around Christmas ended up being the thing that saved Hibito's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so beautiful and
the dream
emotional
of the child
and
that saves the the grown ass adult. Yeah,
I don't know, like that just that makes
sense.
that makes me so just my heart.
What I want to see now is I want to see a family dinner. I want to see Hibito, and the parents and Muta. I know that'll take a long time to happen because he's in space, right? But just for the hey. Everyone's okay. Wait, what? This is what almost happened, He's fine now. But
yeah.
Oh man.
I loved their video call being something of like, oh, yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah, what's up with you?
Yeah. How's life down there? Anything dangerous happened? The way they kind of read each other's minds to be like, now who's gonna be the one to bring it up first? It's kind of a banter thing, but I also felt kind of sweet in a way that I don't think Muta's thinking necessarily this deep about it, but that, Hibito might not even want to bring it up.
Sure.
Hibito might be like,
that was terrifying. I'm still shaken.
I almost died.
Yeah.
And exactly. And
right.
so
Muta's being the normal
big
brother, but also like the little shit. Big brother, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And it's like and that's my little contribution here.
Right.
I'm bringing that normalcy,
right, because I think that another thing that would be very much in Muta's character to do would be to be like, so you almost fucked everything over for NASA, huh? like, damn. My little brother
finally got here, your first mission.
Yeah, my little brother is really a dumbass. I was right.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times that Muta just digs on Hibito amount of dumb stuff in like his apartment, the amount of like
right. He tells him
obsessing over the plant in the there's so many things that he's done with that. But instead of being like, no, Muta was really emotional. And was trying really hard to just have faith in his brother, despite knowing he's a dumbass.
Yes, the pacing decisions that Space Brothers tends to do as a show, where they kind of drag things out a bit, I feel like worked really well here in the quiet moments with Muta, where you can see that it's I'm keeping it together, and they just hang on that, right?
Yep.
And in any other situation, it could be come on,
it's because they are actually intentional scenes. They're not just padding things out. No,
and it's just all those times where it's like, yep, he maybe even wants to say, of course my brother's fine, but it's just thank you, right? Like, the number of times that I was feeling the tears coming on when it's all fine, right? The danger is gone. The danger's in the last episode. We're not dealing with that anymore. But yeah, this was.
Yeah, I don't really cry
stuff.
for the danger. I cry for the. This is a moment of serendipity to where our brothers are speaking across space right now, having done the dream.
Yep.
Right after having the dream almost ripped away.
Yeah.
And getting to laugh and joke about it because your brother's a big damn hero.
That's right.
And Muta, so are you.
3 astronauts.
3 astronauts. The reveal that was the actual like reason behind it. I had some ideas of what the title meaning was going to be like with 3 astronauts. I had some thoughts with that. But the idea that it was Brian J, Azuma, and Muta was really cool.
Yep.
That was really good.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of 3s in this show, but that one was one I did not expect.
I didn't see that coming, but that was
that was really special.
And yes, we are still holding to the premise of this show. Both of them are going to be on the moon at the same time, alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Space Brothers, damn it.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. So don't dare do this again. No. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.